tell you something, brother. This might be the best OG Kush I've ever had. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. You just said a mouthful, brother. I'm higher than helicopter, but listen though, Hulkster. Younglurch has been running his mouth on that podcast. Blaze the Bingo Hall podcast needs to show some respect to the veterans, brother. I say we run in there and show Younglurch and his guest just exactly who the OGs of this game are, What you gonna do, Blaze the Bingo Hall podcast, when the Macho Man and the Hulkster run wild on you? Ooh, yeah. Give me like 10 minutes, though, because I'm really, really stoned. Oh, yeah.
Welcome into Blaze the Bingo Hall for another special episode. I'm your host with the most, Younglurch. Today we have a very, very special guest. We are going coast to coast on this episode, everybody. All the way out on the West Coast in California. He is the owner and promoter of ComptonMania. He is DeShawn Sho Tyme Watkins. DeShawn, welcome to the Bingo Hall.
What's the deal, Younglurch? What's the deal?
Chilling, man. I'm glad that you took your time to come and join us here at the Bingo Hall. We got plenty to talk about today. But yeah, let's dive right into it. You are the owner and promoter of ComptonMania. So not only that, you are a man that wears many hats. You are a comedian, actor, wrestling promoter, just to name a few. I'm sure there's probably a lot more that I'm leaving out of just those that I named. But if you care to elaborate on that, tell me about how you manage those things I just mentioned.
Man, it's wild. Like I got into theater when I was younger, and I started doing comedy, and it started in 2019. Like I was just going through a different transition in my life where it was just like, look, man. You want to really go for it, then go for it. Like, go after it. Don't halfway go for your dreams.
Yeah.
Like, fully go for it. And so I was like, you know what? No excuses. I'm going to do an hour special in my backyard. Instead of paying to get a building and have people come to the building, they got to pay for parking. I did the West Side Comedy Theater before, sold it out. You know what I mean? Standing room only. It was amazing. You know, my first time ever doing that years ago. So bringing it back, I had everybody come to Compton to watch me do my first comedy special in my backyard. And I conquered so many demons. Like I just remember crying after that. And I was like, you know what? Like, shoot, I'm gonna do a wrestling show in my backyard. Cause shit, if I did comedy right here, I'm gonna do a wrestling show in my backyard just because. And
was that something that you wanted to do to kind of like take yourself out of your comfort zone to put yourself in front of everybody to do comedy? Or
yeah, it's like with a wrestling, the commentating is where it's at. Like for me, I used to play with my wrestling toys like as a kid. Like that was my therapy.
Same.
Like my sisters and my cousins, a lot of times when they bring their toys over, they'll be like, here, play with my toy. What would my toy say? So I'll be doing the voices like, look here, come here, get on the ground, bing bow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just be busting up laughing. Like,
yeah.
So ever since a kid, I was like, damn. So bringing the wrestling to the backyard and me being on the microphone, like and one mixtape, you know, like hot sauce, you know, it was basketball, but these guys were really giving it. It was like, yo, this would be an opportunity where I really get to, you know, show my comedic timing and how I could do this. And then it started just becoming like a connection that you can have with the audience. And yeah, and that relationship, like being a commentator and having that relationship with the audience in the ring, it reminds me of being a kid and watching wrestling with my uncle. Like watching wrestling with my Uncle Daryl was like the greatest things ever. Like my uncle was like autistic, right? But he understood football, wrestling, all the sports. And
probably
like,
knew all of it, yeah.
Yeah, you feel me? So that was our thing, like watching wrestling. And my uncle Daryl, man, rest in peace. Like that's how it's when I'm doing that, it's like I feel like I can feel like my uncle with me, even though he's not here. So it's really special to me. And to be working with AD Anthony Desiree, my partner in crime, that be doing the commentating, like we got such a great relationship, and I've been knowing him for years. So to sit over there and to call this thing together, like, man, it just means the world, dog. I can't even explain like how special that moment is, but I couldn't imagine not doing that, you know?
No, yeah, I can understand the special moment that brings to you, and the connection that you have towards your uncle when you are in that spot. It's almost like taking you back to like a little kid, so to say, or like that feeling that you had of like that. It's just pure joy. It takes you back to your element. Sometimes, like me now with my son, he's turning 6 this year, and he's just now getting in like real heavy, and it's getting me really back into things. And that's why I'm starting my content and trying to put things out there, making connections. And it's like watching him and his joy, and watching him connect with wrestlers and who he likes and doesn't like. It's like it puts me back in that spot and that mindset of when I was a kid and when I was going through it. So it's so cool to watch him get to experience it and get to navigate his way through and what he likes and doesn't like, because everybody's different. Everybody likes certain, wrestlers or they don't, and you get to, find out along the way what works for you. So it's a cool thing. So I can understand that feeling you get when you're running your own show. So that's a special connection.
Yeah.
One of the things, DeShawn, that I wanted to bring up, I don't know if this is a quote of yours, but it's something that, I always do my deep dive when I have guests on. So I like to be prepared. I like to try to find out a little bit about you before I actually get to know you. But one of the things that you said was you can't keep denying dopeness. Now, is that a quote of yours, or is that something you just like to live by, so to say? Because when I heard you say that, I was like, man, it hit really hard.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just said it. I don't know if somebody else probably said it before. I don't know, but yeah, I did say that. Talking to Adriana, like, I really feel like that, because a lot of times, I got a bad story about myself. Okay, in high school, we had this poetry slam, right? Like, I was Jordan High. We were going up against Milliken and Poly. Poly's our rival, so I was like, for sure, we gotta beat Poly. I was kind of like the leader of this poetry slam. And that year they shut down the Axel program because I was in the theater, you know what I'm saying? So my senior year, we didn't have Axel. So I had like this chip on my shoulder that I wanted to prove this thing. So anyway, long story short, poetry slam, we came in second place. I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off, man. I was so pissed off. And I'll never forget, they had the announcer, I think it was like J-Town News, and he was like, yo, that was great. How do you feel? And I remember I grabbed the mic. I was like, this is bullshit. I felt like Bret the Hitman Hart, like, that was trash. It was rigged. And I was just cutting this. And I was hurt, yo. I was so hurt. But now when I look back at that, I'm like, yo, I probably made somebody's experience so bad. What if this person never, ever wants to do this craft no more? Because, see, I didn't understand at the time that the fact that you're doing your craft, that's the victory. Just because you don't get the result that you wanted in doing it, don't worry about that. Just keep being dope. If people say you fourth place, who cares? Be dope and continue to get better to yourself.
Yeah.
If you continue to just give it the best you got, who cares where they put you? Just keep being dope. When you emotional about something because you feel like you got overlooked, it's okay, but continue to be dope. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though you feel like it's you against the world, okay. But continue to be dope. Do not stop being dope because you hurt. You know, like you got to rest and get your mind together, but don't compromise your greatness. Take your time. Love what you do.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as failure because you're learning. It's okay. Get back up, dust it up. Whatever you messed up, just fix the things you could have done better. Communication is tough. It's hard for everybody, you know, but just keep being dope. Don't stop, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
boy, you long.
No, you're good. You're good. I just, like I said, when I heard that, it's like it resonates for like you said, anyone that's like putting themselves out there, anyone that's creating their own content, you know, you're going all in on yourself. You're betting on yourself. And at the end of the day, I always say if you bet on yourself, you can't lose because you're only gonna you're not gonna let yourself down. At least that's the way I look at it, you know.
Yeah.
But another thing that I had found interesting about you, you're pretty open about dealing with like anxiety and depression. How is that something, you know, that you're able to overcome and battle, you know, along with, you know, hey, you're putting yourself out there, you're under a microscope, so to say. So people are going to, you know, want to take shots at you or, you know, detract you from what your plan is. So that could maybe add to anxiety or add to depression. So how are you able to deal with that?
You got to renew your mind daily. Like, some days you just gonna feel it, but you got to renew your mind. You got to speak on those beautiful, pure. You gotta, it's hard. It takes work. Like you gotta work at being happy. Like I had to tell myself the other day, like, you know, every time when you accomplish something, you're waiting for the next thing. I got to do the next thing. Okay, I got to go. Okay, I got to go. It's like, okay, you got to go, but enjoy today. Because guess what? Today is never, ever coming back ever again. It's over with. You can never redo this day. It's over with. So you might as well be present. While you being present, what do you enjoy about that moment? Because the time is going to come when you're going to be older. If you lucky enough, you get older and you be like, man, I remember that time. Now you may not have too much time left. So it's just appreciate each moment.
Yeah.
Like, be there, like, because you're going to miss, I miss my mom, man. I really do. I wish I could just have one more conversation with moms, you know, but guess what? You'll never, ever get that time ever again. So you got to be present when you're present. Tell the ones you love them while you can, like, for real. Like,
yeah. That's definitely important. And whatever it is that you're doing, you should sometimes just take a step back and enjoy in the moment, because like you said, later on down the road, there might be something that you regret that you didn't go all in on, where you have that time, that opportunity right now where you could do it. So if anybody's out there listening and you're contemplating on, you know, going all in or jumping in head first, do it. Start it. Whatever it is.
And there's no such thing as perfection. Listen, guys, you gonna get your ass whooped. Like, just know that. No, it's like if you go to the NFL, how you gonna go to the NFL expecting not to get your light smacked out? How you gonna go to the NBA and not expect to get dunked on? Like, bro, what you thought you wasn't? Who you think you was?
It's what it really comes down to is what you do next. It's how you take that lick and keep on going. You know what I mean? It's, you know, that's what I like to see. You know, people get knocked down, people are able to persevere. But it's what they do in that moment where you see them down and out or whatever it is. And it's like, what are you going to do next? And, you know, I know as Americans, you know, in this country, we all love a true redemption story. So anytime you see someone that is able to build themselves up, you know, it's
Lurch. That's why I liked Shawn Michaels back in the days. He was charismatic. You know, it took a lot to beat him. Even though you like, man, Undertaker gonna whoop him easy. It's like, nah, Shawn got some moves, you know. But I'm sorry.
So I also had seen that you had said without Kobe Bryant, that ComptonMania would have never existed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Kobe someone that you attribute a lot of like mindset type of things that you take from him? I know he's big on mindset, or is that one of the, I guess, inspirations?
Absolutely. When he was going through the allegations,
mm-hmm.
and as a fan, I felt like how I felt. I'm standing with Kobe. I feel the same way about Michael Jackson. You can't tell me nothing about Michael Jackson and Kobe. But anyway, so he goes to San Antonio right after getting off the plane, coming in late, no warm-ups, boom, hit up game-winning shot, boom, 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 San Antonio going crazy, boom, hit a three, pointed to the crowd and put his hands like under his shorts, like big balls over here, homie.
Mm-hmm.
Like in San Antonio, like, yeah. And then I think Tony Parker hit the next one and they wind up winning.
Yeah.
Kobe was just, like, relentless. He was a killer.
Yeah.
Like when we lost the finals, they said, Kobe, what happened? I think it was one game we was up on Boston and Boston came back and beat us at home. And Kobe said we were soft. We wet the bed. He could have blamed so many different people. I was waiting for him to blame, but he took it on the chin. And Kobe was about like when he lost, he would see people celebrate so he can put in his mind like, okay, this is what I'm going to work myself till exhaustion. Put it on yourself. Kobe made me believe like no matter what, if I felt like they cheated us on not giving us Chris Paul, and no matter what, Kobe would go off. He'll put up 60 by himself, ISO. Like he would just like go on a kill spree. And you just and how I felt like I was overlooked.
Embodied it,
yeah. I'm sorry. I just went a long tangent.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Mamba mentality carried me though. It helped me through a lot of difficult situations. Like, what would Kobe do? He wouldn't duck it, Sean. You got to own it. If you made this mistake, then guess what? You have to get better. You have to get better. Don't blame. Don't say that they cheated. What can you do to not be denied?
Take accountability.
You got to.
Yeah. So you say that there's no ComptonMania without Kobe Bryant, but I also heard you said that there's no, where you would have wound up dead or in jail without WWE.
Oh,
what about WWE connected you, or was that like your outlet away from whatever it was you were going through at that time?
So from a kid whose father was murdered when he was 2 years old,
Wow. Sorry to hear that.
Man, it's all love. Like having all these stories you hear about your dad, good, bad, and wanting to have that relationship, wanting to be something more, wanting to see things. WWE gave me heroes. Bret the Hitman Hart told me, never give up. Have confidence. I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. By hook or by crook. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels, like, he was resilient. The Heartbreak Kid, the boyhood dream has come true. Like I was like, if I had a dream, what is my boyhood dream? Like it resonated when Austin, like, and I'm coming from a dude from Compton. My mom and dad were Crips. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm rebelling within what I'm becoming and what's happening around me. Like I embodied that Austin, the rock, the wittiness. Like I live vicariously through these guys. I had moments in life where I wanted to unalive myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't do it because I was about to see the Iron Man match. I was Shawn Michaels and Bret, Hulk Hogan in the Ultimate Warrior, Austin in The Rock. Like I can't do this. I can't. It's so many things to look. There's so many different things that could happen, like, and I used to watch it with my uncle. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I had homies that I grew up with that'll tell you they'll be at my uncle's house and my uncle be making the most greasiest spaghetti you'll ever see before in your life. I mean, the stuff gonna make your heart stop. I'm telling you, Uncle Daryl had some greasy ass spaghetti, but that was my uncle, man. We would order the pizzas, we would have the snacks, and we would just laugh and talk about wrestling and imitate the moves and saying who could do this. And man, I couldn't do it because it was always that,
Yeah, that's awesome that you have that connection with wrestling, and that that was there for you to be an outlet for you during struggles growing up as a kid. So I know that's a lot of people's stories, where they have that connection to wrestling, or whether it's music or art or whatever it is that they're passionate about. That it's like it keeps them going. So it's like, I'm glad that you were able to make that connection with wrestling, and you're still here with us, brother, because I think that people go through a lot of things, and if you're able to, again, like we said earlier, persevere, things get a little bit better for you. You know what I mean? There's always a rhyme or reason out there why we're here. So you got to keep going.
Yeah.
So you also accredited God for bringing you to the conception of ComptonMania. Was that something that, were you not on the right path, so to say, in your life, and then maybe you found God, and then that allowed you to then go for what it is that you're striving for now in life, your creativity?
So a little bit of everything. Is just growing up, there were moments when I remember, like, when me and my mom didn't always see eye to eye, and my grandma would be taking me back home, and I'll just be crying. I'm like, man, I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. She said, look here, baby. She said, listen. She said, pray. And she said, I promise you. She said, though it may take time, baby, it may tarry. She said, but the Lord will answer your prayers. Pray for your mom. I'm like, man, I've been praying for her for years. It ain't gonna work. Like, what are you talking about? And eventually, years down the line, my mama changed. She changed. And I started thinking about in my life where different times where, I felt like giving up. It would always be something that'd just be like, you know what? Today gonna be better, Sean. And then, like, just to even think, like, even if you minus the ComptonMania, you just think about just everything I done been through. For me to even still just be here is a blessing, bro. Like, I've been able to have the same theater teacher as my grandma. My grandma is like one of my heroes. And to get to know Dr. Van Niel before he passed, and that my grandma's still alive and we still be, that's one thing we got. Like, yeah, you was a theater, because me and my grandma, she's the reason why I got into theater. And then like I started getting real good. So I was like, yeah, Nana, I'll tear you up. You feel me? Like, so we went to a senior citizen home, but my grandma was like basically a senior citizen. So I did my Martin Luther King speech, and the ladies, they loved it. They was like, oh, he was so good. My grandma did her thing first, though. She killed it. But she was around the same age as them, so they wasn't trying to like see another. They was proud the youngster came through. So even though everybody was saying I did great, I got in the car and my grandma, I said, Nana, you kicked my ass. I ain't gonna even lie. She's just the GOAT. And like she taught me how to believe in myself. She told me to face my fears. She said, Sean, you got to be a man of your word. If a man say he gonna do something, you got to do it.
Yep.
You said you got to do it. And if you wrong, you need to apologize. Yep. My grandma, like, I'm telling you, if I do something wrong, it's gonna be hard for me to sleep. Like, because she
sounds like a smart lady, man. She's got definitely has some wisdom.
But and even a little deeper, so with God. So my spiritual mom. I met this lady named Tina LaFleur, and she told me, she said, there's a scripture for you where it says, eyes have not seen, nor have ears have heard what the Lord has in store for you, DeShawn. And I was just like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, here we go. So, you know, she just taught us about like when you the book of Habakkuk say, write the vision down and make it plain. Like, you write your vision down, you make it plain, and you just work. You just work. And though it may tarry, it shall come to pass. All you need is faith of a mustard seed. Everything that I've spoken for this brand to happen, it has happened with little to no money, literally with just connections, bringing people together. I'm like, wow, you know, we really could need this. And then next thing you know, I find somebody who does this. And I'm just like sitting there looking like, yo, this is kind of spooky, you know?
Weird how that works, right?
Like, yeah, the Vegas trip. Oh my God, that was you want to talk about, it looks amazing, but you have no clue how like a blessing that was for us to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, same thing with us going to Arizona. Like, it's like I can't say that I'm so great that I can't take credit for everything. Like, I can't, like, it's just you know what I mean? Like, everything, bro. Like, it's just like sometimes I just be like, wow. So you know what? That means I gotta be even better. I gotta be even better of a person, because to whom much is given, much is required. Like, so you gotta do, and I feel it. I feel it. Like like it's such a, like, I want to be good to people. Like, that's important to me. Like, even if we have a disagreement, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't got time for that type of energy. I grew up around that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's
kind of the same. I don't know if it's 2025 for me or what, but I know this year it's been a year of amends for me. So anything that is out there that I feel like I have to let go or I have to make amends about with whomever, I'm, all for it, because it's just like you said, like that energy that you're holding on to, it's just like, it's not good. It's not worth it. It's like
so much great energy on this other side of things. I'm telling you, you get on the other side of things, you start being like, whoa, I got to be careful about how I speak and how I say things, even when I'm just playing around. Like, because I'm a let it fly. I be cussing. Listen, I'll let it fly. But then I'm also starting to become more conscious. Like, hey,
got sometimes filter a little bit. You gotta think. Yeah.
Hey, you need to pipe down. Okay.
One thing I wanted to also to speak on, since we're talking about mindsets, what do you think about staying in an environment that doesn't see your true value? And some might say that that's where depression and anxiety comes from, because you start to shrink down. You start to shrink down the size, like, to what people can stand, so to say. I know that's a long-winded, kind of deep, cerebral thing, but like, I feel like that's very true. Like, when you know your true worth, and the people around you don't see that value in you, you sometimes then conform to what they think you should be worth, and then you sometimes sell yourself short. I know that can also cause more. I don't know if this is a question, but I'm just saying, like, I guess that, like, depression, anxiety can come from not being around the right environment, so to say. And then when you're able to break out of that and see your true worth, that you're able to then fulfill what it is that you're doing, just like you are now. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, you can't really explain everything and why it's happening or how it's happening, but you're making the connections, and you're out there now seeing your worth in other people's eyes, because, like you said, it's little to no money. How does that work other than people believe in you and believe in what you're doing? So I don't know if that was a question, DeShawn, but I'm just
no. I mean, I feel like I totally understand how you been in the wrong environment, or people around you maybe not seeing what your full capabilities. And here's the tough part about it. That's the part where a true prophet is just not accepted in his home. And it's the same thing with me, and it's no different from a lot of people. A lot of times you got to disappear from your market to go get your true value. And a lot of times you're going to go down and take a lesser pay to eventually go back up to show your worth. That's the battle. So either way, it's like if you deal with it, you got to have a different conversation with your mind. If you got to stay and you know it's toxic, then you have to say, okay, when you wake up in the morning, you have to commit to your why. Why are you going in? Because I have to do this in order for this to be done, and this is my livelihood. Okay.
Yep.
So that has to be your lead. You cannot put your other stuff that's going to cut you, because you can't cut your nose in spite of your face. And that's a lot of times we do that as humans, where we crash out. We have enough humans that had already crashed out. Like, no more crashing out, y'all. Like, that's old news now. Like, because you don't know your full value until you get older. Like, and we crashing out way too soon. Like,
I think you hit that right on the head, because I think there's a lot of, not to say anything about younger people, but like as I'm getting older and more mature, I'm sure as you are too, you look at things differently, you interpret things differently than you may have when you were younger, when you said like, hey, I'm gonna crashed out. But
yeah,
I look, you may look at it way different now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I guess it's like things that you're told when you're younger, they start to make more sense as you get a little bit older. With age comes wisdom. So it's like little things like that where it's like, I guess it's like we could preach it all day, but sometimes people have to go through it in order to experience it themselves, because we could say it all day till we're blue in the face, but you got to kind of go through that. But yeah, like I said, I love talking about mindset stuff, but let's switch the gears a little bit, DeShawn. Let's talk about ComptonMania. So ComptonMania, as we spoke about it, you had a show in Vegas during Mania Week, which is an amazing achievement. And then you guys, as we're recording this, are going to Arizona in a few days. By the time this comes out, you guys will already be done the show and everything like that. But the question is ComptonMania exclusive to Compton only? But as I just said, is not. So is that the goal, to bring ComptonMania to other states and I guess across the rest of the country as well?
Absolutely. Around the world, like, period. Like, come book us, we there. Like, I mean, I feel like the idea of ComptonMania, like I was saying, it's like me, every time I do that, it's like me and my uncle, but meeting with people after the show too, and vibing with them, and like just creating a whole little like
network
family type of situation. Like, just like I'm trying to create a ComptonMania community too, where it's like, yo, I'm on Discord and we all da 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 da. What wrestler y'all want to see? Oh, y'all want to see him versus him? All right, let me, especially okay, cool. All right, well, let's see if we could do it. And then it's like, okay, all right, so well, what y'all want to see at ComptonMania? Like, wouldn't that be dope if Vince McMahon came to you and just be like, hey, Younglurch, what you want to see, dog?
Yeah, getting the your fans feedback on what they want to see, because then that gets them more involved. And hey, if we have a say so in it, then it makes them feel like they're a part of the show as well. And that's, anytime I go to a show, if I even get a reaction out of a wrestler, it's like, hey, I did my part. I was a part of the show tonight. So if you can have some fans involved with decision making on who they're bringing in or who's fighting who, like that's pretty cool idea, I think. Also wanted to bring this up. Here's from the Vegas show you guys were just out. Tell me about this. How does this come to fruition? Like you said, it's a crazy, probably how it all came together. But like, was that a plan of yours, or it just kind of happened? It was like, hey, this is gonna work, and we're gonna go do this.
Well, I talked to Versus Pro Wrestling, and it was gonna be like different feds that was all gonna run at this location at a container park. We was all gonna put in our situations, and then you go first, you go second, you go third, you go fourth, and then we just go. you know, and it was just amazing for us because we were able to do our ghetto gauntlet. By us being a small promotion, we had to skip a year last year from not doing the ghetto gauntlet because we didn't have the funds, you know. So we had like different like free shows we were doing. So the ghetto gauntlet, that sucker costs money because it's more wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Royal Rumble, you know. So it was just like to be able to do that, have Maserati, oh my goodness, our women's champion, to go up against Jocelyn Navarro, and then Olivier, like Olivier being in that match. You talking about the versus champion. You got these three women getting down. We was able to have Culture Inc. there, which is, you know, they come for Booker T school. I mean, it was just like we had Kaya Dream, we had Auntie Heidi, we had Sean Black, who was there, the urban juggernaut. We had T-Dub, man, that be on OVW. Like, I mean, it was just, you know, you had Project West, you had World's Greatest Wrestling, Primo's Pro Wrestling, they out of Denver. And it was a dream come true. It was literally like, it felt good to go out there with our guys. And my cousins came out, you know, to vibe with us, my wife and the kids. Like it just was, it was so much fun. it was really fun. And it's the thing, we started off in my grandma's backyard in the 4th district in Compton. Wow.
And you just did a show during Vegas week, during Mania week in Vegas.
Man.
Yeah.
And that's our second Mania week. That's wild. Our first one was when we were out here and we did it on Rosecrans and Wilmington. Everybody can go over there. You know, if you know, you know. We had the godfather of hip hop, Lonzo, who discovered NWA. That's like my OG was there. I mean, you had Compton Menace was there. You had man, you had so many people there. It's wild. So for these things to happen like that is, like I say, this is when I'll be like, yo, these are what she say, eyes have not seen, nor have ears have heard. Like, wow.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
deep.
it. I never could. It started off with the toys, my therapy, preparing me to have a wrestling company. A guy from Compton. What? Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, where there's a will, there's a way. And I feel like just hearing a little bit about your story, you've always had that will there, you know. What about ComptonMania though differentiates you guys from other wrestling promotions?
I think our community work, you know, we partner with like different churches where we feed, we give clothes, you know, we do services. We link with the East Side Riders to do community work, different council members. And then we do a lot of free shows. We did Parks After Dark last year. The Gym Works festivals was pretty much free. We did a show with the East Side Riders that was free for the community. We did a show with the Compton Junior Equestrians at the Compton Cowboys Ranch, free. You know what I mean? Even though we ain't got the bread, we try to get sponsors or something to pay for it. And then we like, you know what? Because what I'm trying to do more so for my community, especially in Compton, is to be like, hey, there's another trade here you guys could get, and you can make money all over the world doing this. And the idea from ComptonMania is the place that everybody was like afraid of. This is now going to be the wrestling capital of the world. I want to find young me's that's out there that said, man, if there was a wrestling situation down the street, I'd have joined when I was like 2 years old. Like there are people of all kind of different ethnic backgrounds in Compton that is like, yo, come over here. A lot of these people, they won't be able to go to WrestleMania or anything like that. So it's just like, I'm gonna create a hub where wrestlers can go. a place where wrestlers could really grow their craft. And that's what ComptonMania is about. It's about mixing wrestling and love together. And there's no other greater love, than the city you come from, and turn that into the wrestling capital of the world. I foresee around the Martin Luther King Monument, you have all the different wrestlers in the Hall of Fame that's wrestled in Compton around that little piece thing. I think that'd be huge for the city. You know what I'm saying?
I like what you're
real.
saying, man. I like when people speak things into existence like that. Like Compton's going to be the wrestling capital. You know what I mean? Like that's and especially like you said, when you're doing free shows, like people are like, oh, who wants to go to a free show? But like sometimes, like for me, like a lot of the free shows around here, they're like some of the best ones because you have all the vendors from the community and outreach from the community, and everyone's there vibing and having a good time, and they're all making a little bit of money off of whatever food vendors there or craft vendors there or whatever. So it's like it may not always be about the dollar that you're making on those free shows, but again, the connections and your time that you're invested in your community, it all comes full circle. So like you said, may not be about, you might have to take a little bit of a cut, but at the end of the day, it all comes full circle.
Definitely.
When you are running shows and you're showcasing talent, it seems like you like to do some local talent along with international wrestlers. Would you say it's a good mix of both as far as what you like to showcase on shows for you guys?
Absolutely. I think it's even simpler than that. Like it's whatever makes sense. Like, I mean, honestly, like, it's not like you get to go up in there and say, hey, I get LeBron James. You know what I mean? And not saying that you just settle in either, but you just you
gotta work within your means, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna give you somebody, Jay Steins, man. Jay Steins is from Dublin, Ireland. Like this guy like hit me up and was like, I'm coming to Compton. I would like to come visit you. You in your wrestling spot. I'm like, we ain't got no spot. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, let me just, it'd be cool, to pull up. I'm like, all right. So I gave him, my grandma number. This is where we started,
Right.
So he gets there before me. So my mom had just passed. So it's like candles all in the front. And he said, because I think it took me like 15 minutes to get there. I ain't gonna lie. So he later told me, he said, I called my mom. I said, Mom, guess where I'm at? She was like, where are you at, son? He's like, I'm in Compton. Well, what are you doing there? Get up out of there. So I pull up, and then I'm like, so Jay Steins, this is ComptonMania started. There's no ring, there's no nothing. Like, and I'm just like, hey, let me take you around Compton. So we go around Compton. We took a picture at the Salvation Army, took him, did some cool things, but he was just a guy that was serious about his craft. And literally, he came and he did a free show in my backyard with about 5 people watching.
That's dope.
And like, yo, you gonna take them on the chin like that, bro. Like I remember posting that, and then somebody said, you didn't draw shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, well, next time hopefully we draw 6.
Yeah. Hey, I don't pay any attention to that kind of stuff. The keyboard warriors that just want to talk smack. It's like they're usually the ones that never even attempted to do anything themselves. So it's like, whatever. But as far as talent's involved, I know you bring in Paul London quite a bit. Is he like local to you guys, or how did you get connected with Paul London? Because I know he was I don't know what champion, but he was one of your champions, right?
Yes, Paul London is our 2-time heavyweight champion. I met Paul London at an Amped Up show, and Paul London was like, yo, I respect how you do your thing. You do a lot of good charity work. I want to be in the community, like, so said I, and we just started cooking up. Paul is he's a funny guy, dog. He's such a nice guy, dude.
I see him on I don't know if you're familiar with Cafe de Rene. I watch him on there all the time, and he is hilarious. Like, he has his own kind of humor that is just for him. He says whatever he wants, and he's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, Paul, man. Oh man, Paul's hilarious, man. He's hilarious, but he's just a cool guy. Like, he's so giving. He loves, like I said, meeting with the community. He came out to a couple of situations, our Go Skate Days. I did the Social Needs Network. He came out there, him and Shiloh. But yeah, I mean, he's just a class act. He got the Kayfabe Academy where he been training a lot of like up and coming talent that be at ComptonMania. He really dope. But more than anything, like, he's a good friend, man. He's a good friend, and yeah, man. He's a trooper for sure.
How do you see ComptonMania evolving in the future? I know you probably have a lot of big plans. You know, don't share anything you don't want us to know, but I know you got a little something you could probably give us.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. Like, I'm just trying to create a huge farm, bro. I'm just trying to send people to where they want to go. That's it. I want to create a facility for wrestlers. I want to create a living facility where they could work out, train, come to get some peace, and also a place where we'll do shows up in there. Have all kind of different stuff that I want to break down. I'm not gonna get a whole tea.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, don't give us the whole pie.
Yeah, but just a lot, man. Just because, like, Bret Hart meant a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to see Bret Hart. I hope I see him June 28th because I'm going to one of these conventions. He gonna be there. I'm definitely want to talk to the Hitman. He did
Bret
a
Hart's one of my
cameo
guys
for it too. But imagine, like, these guys were my heroes that you can be able to say what's up, or they passing food out to you, or they reading a book to you. You know what I mean? Like how amazing is that? How powerful is that? Like, what does that do for a kid? I know I would have been stimming like a mug. Like, you know how many Sweet Chin music I'd have gave out before lunch? Like, I'm just randomly kicking, bing, bow, boom. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to make people feel like how I felt like with my uncle. Peace, video games and snacks.
I think as long as you keep going on in your path and you have that mindset of that's what bring you back to that little bit of joy, I think you're going to be set, bro. Like, nothing's going to stop you in what you're trying to accomplish here, because that's, you have that why, you know what I mean? And bringing you back to that special time when you used to, grow up watching wrestling. For upcoming events, of course, like I said, this won't come out until after you guys went to Arizona, but let me pull this up just to show that you guys are going to Arizona, ComptonMania, the Desert Showdown, lowriders, food trucks, and music. That sounds like a hell of a time. Is that your concept, or like, again, you're just trying to, like, hey, let's go ahead and the opportunity's here, let's go do it?
So that's the Taste of Phoenix. They get it popping all the time. Before we even came along, they just bringing us along. It's the Taste of Phoenix, and they're bringing Gym Work Fest, and we riding with the Gym Work Fest. And we've done the Gym Work Fest out here, but this the Taste of Phoenix, and shout out to them for letting us be on the situation. And we finna come out there and rock. That sucker is huge. Like, to even be able to go to AZ, oh man, that's crazy.
How far away of a travel is that for you guys?
About 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours.
Okay. Yeah, so it's you guys are gonna be a little tired, but hey, it's all worth it.
For sure, for sure.
Is there any big matches during this event, or any storylines in the works that you guys got going on?
So right now we got the rematch with CTE is going up against the CTE is the Compton Boulevard champion. He's been super dominant. He's going up against, this is the rematch against King Trev. Okay, so they fought last week, and CTE like stripped off his mask like he was Scooby-Doo. You don't be doing that to them. It's like, oh, it's him. So he exposed him. So this is the rematch, King Trev versus CTE, and King Trev was our first ever Compton Boulevard champion. We also have the Visionaries is going up against Cortez and Drake's, I think that's his name. And then We have the ignorant one, Shiloh Greaves, going up against making his debut, Thugnificent. That's going to be pretty dope. We just doing 3 matches. It's going to be me and the Mayor Mike on commentary, and it's going to be some fun.
Is that Triple M?
Yeah, that is definitely Triple M. That is
Shout out Triple M.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes.
Shout out to Triple M. CTE, I am sort of familiar with. We have talked a little bit, and he does plan on to come into the Bingo Hall soon, so we are going to get that scheduled. So shout out to him. What's the process like when you're booking wrestlers or creating matchups? I guess it's kind of like you said, like whatever is available to you, whatever makes the most sense at that moment, I guess is what I kind of get out of it, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I kind of look at, okay, where's our location? Okay, what's our generic location? Okay, what makes sense for this location? All right, boom. You factor in that. The booker Shiloh Greaves is definitely like one of our bookers. We also think about like, okay, who we got in our pocket right now? What stories are we running with? Who we have available? Who's available? And then it's just like, okay, boom. What matches can we get? We know we got Paul. Who can we get based on what we got left in the budget? Who can we get to fit this situation? And then it becomes like almost like building a football team, where it's just like, okay, what is the gaps? What is the holes? What is the size situations we trying to put in? What are the angles too? Then you got to factor in the stuff you don't think about in production, How long should they give me this pose? Okay, boom. All right, when we walking out, how does this happen? And then it's a lot of on the fly stuff that's happening and communication that's happening, and it's
locker room drama. I'm sure it plays into it too, because
and
this one likes this one, that one don't like this one. This one's got an issue.
Yeah,
trust me, I know how it goes. How it goes. Yeah. So, do you think that? Like, how do you support those types of wrestlers, like in their development and their career advancement? Like someone like a Paul London, who on your team, if you're trying to put a team together, he would be, I would consider like a captain or, a veteran of your team. You're going to want to put him alongside someone who you're trying to bring up, or you're trying to get some sort of rub from, or let them learn from Paul, so to say, if we're using him as an example. Is that something you think of when you're trying to create matchups, as far as like young up and coming guys you're looking out for? You're trying to make those types of matchups and have them in the right hands, so to speak, and matches.
Absolutely. That definitely plays a factor too. Also, how they body feeling. You know what I mean? It plays a factor. You really, no matter which horse you have, you don't want to run your horse to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Understand that. Like, you got to be smart. Like, you playing football, you pass the ball every time, your quarterback is finna be in danger. Like, bro, keep on passing the ball. I'm finna send him. I'm finna send him at him like seek heat missiles. Like, you know what I mean? But it becomes like that. So you got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to manage the personalities. You got to be able to be open to listening. You got to listen to these people that's putting their bodies on the lines. They know their bodies. You know what I mean? And then also sometimes you got to step in and be like, hell no, you ain't doing that.
Yeah, you got to know when to make that executive decision, and that comes from from a leader.
And you got because look, this is trippy. When I got my wrestling toys, I had to work and get them. I had to earn them at the end of the week. I would get them like 2. If they broke, I learned how to super glue it. Right, my wrestling toys. So then I started learning, when it started coming out of my money, I don't play as rough with my toys. So once you start looking at your toys, you want your toys to last. You want your real wrestlers to last too, because sometimes these wrestlers, knowing how hard you work to put on and get the thing popping, they ready to make it. They ready to. I'm like, no. You
slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on. This this is a marathon. Don't go out there.
It's good that you're able to kind of navigate that and pace those types of situations and not allow them to burn out or to do something where it's like it may put you in a stickier situation further down the line, so to say. But DeShawn, I wanted to bring up, since we did bring up Triple M. Triple M is a guest from the Bingo Hall, and anyone who had watched that episode, we went into depth about his son. Triple M did ask me if I could bring him up during this episode, and I know that you have had involvements with Triple M and bringing awareness to their situation with his son Hansel, who was kidnapped and is believed to be in Mexico City somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a picture of Hansel, and that's you. Is that your significant other?
Yep, that's wifey right there.
Okay. Yeah. So again, anyone who is watching this, who knows anything or can, any tip at all, reach out to DeShawn, reach out to Triple M, myself, whomever, your local authorities, to bring awareness to the situation. I know Triple M holds you in a special place in his heart, because I know you, amongst other promoters, have helped out in his situation. Again, with the community aspect that you guys are involved in, I'm sure that was probably the least that you guys could do.
Absolutely. That's ultimately why we're here. You know what I mean? It's bigger than wrestling. It's about Hansel. It's about the kids that come after us. It's about what's going to inspire them to do good. Because it's so easy to do bad. He came to the shows. We used to see Hansel a lot. He'll have his wrestling toys with him too. I just pray, because and that's hard. Poor Maricela and Mike, you know what I mean? That's tough to not have a kid in the house, man. And it's been some time. And yeah.
I think the way Triple M put it is like, imagine your kid being out of your sight for a few seconds in the store, but then imagine that feeling for 2 years. So it's like, yeah, it's a tough thing. Prayers to them, and anybody that has any know with all, please, bring it forward.
Please.
But with you guys, what's the team look like? Is this all, I know you're the brainchild of ComptonMania, but you can't do it all on your own. Who's responsible for your team? Like who is it that you lean on when you're putting things together? Or are you the sole one running everything?
I mean, I'll be making the decisions, but it's a lot of us. It's my boy Cameron, Anthony Desiree, Shiloh, a little bit of Paul. It's a lot of people in that room, and we all like talk amongst each other. Even my production staff, like we talk amongst each other. We discuss things. We, hey guys, this is the playing field. This is where we at. We can do this. We can do that. Hey, somebody come out with a great idea. Hey, what about this? And it's like, nah. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be super hilarious. Okay, let's do that. And then too, like even when we talking to different wrestlers based off of like, hey, this is what we want to run. We also like talk to different the different wrestlers too, to be like, hey, what y'all think? And then they put their input and they spin on it, and then we just figure out where to go from there. So then it becomes about dates, and then it becomes all about execution after that point, and just making sure that we having fun and being safe.
Is there any challenges or obstacles that ComptonMania has faced? I'm sure they have, but like it's like, I think you mentioned earlier that there was a time where you had to stop a show, or you couldn't run a show at a particular time. All right, we're back. We're settled. So you said pretty much every show you got some sort of hurdle or obstacle to overcome. How do you navigate through those issues?
Communication, being calm,
and communication and being calm. So one time we had a situation where we're about to set up at the church. This is Circle Mission 1359. I think is something 107th Street. Anyway, so we go there, we bring the stuff we about to put on the show, we getting stuff together. There's no electricity. Somebody broke into the church the night before and took the electricity. I said, you got to be joking. So we had to
all the things.
get generators out of nowhere. It was like, oh my God. We did a show one time at the Compton Dollar High. This is like the community center. This was our anniversary show. We bought the big screen out. My wife told me, she said, babe, don't get the big screen. I said, are you kidding me, babe? It's the anniversary show. You mean to tell me I ain't gonna pull out all the heat? What you talking about? You can't go to church. What are you talking about? We about to bring the big screen out. It is the anniversary. She said, babe, I had a bad dream. I don't care. Ooh. Right now. We finna do this thing. Man, we setting up everything. The wind start going crazy. Tents start flying. Oh, no. And we're on the third floor of a parking structure. So we had to go down, get the tents. Some of the tents broke. So we had to tie them down. So I said, okay, finally, the ring is set up. The big screen is set up. I turned around and kind of changed my clothes. Boom! The big screen fall. The Compton structure shake. It almost fell on somebody.
Oh, no.
Most of our money went to the big screen.
She had a dream. She told you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You want to talk? And then I'm calling the match. You can see it in my face. He hit him with a clothesline.
Just mad the whole time.
And I'm just so hot because the big screen was going to promote we was going to do a ComptonMania after dark. And it was going to show the little promo, and then we had the tickets to sell the tickets, but it killed the whole situation. I was like, oh, we made no money on that show. It was a total loss. We've had shows where we've got rained out and we went against the rain and we won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've had situations where in Compton, I did everything I was supposed to do to get all the permits and everything. They had all my paperwork, but they was not calling me back. I'm like, yo, I need to know. Is it a no? Because before you told me it's a no, and then I turned in all the paperwork. And after I turned in all the paperwork, nobody's calling me back. And the show was tomorrow. I don't need the police shutting down my event. Yeah. And I did everything I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I go up there. Man, look, I felt like they was running me through the ringer. I went up in there. I bought donuts for everybody. I said, hey, here is the donuts. Did I get the thing? They gave me the thing. I said, yeah. Thank you. Oh, my God. You want it, man? I can go down to, man. And there are sometimes you get shows and boom, I need you to be here 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, dang, that means I got a week to promote and I got a week or 3 or 4 days to find the card for the show because everybody might be booked already. But it's like, if you don't take this, you won't have a show for another 6, 7, 8 months. You might be forgot about, you know what I mean? What you gonna do? You know?
Yeah. It's got to be, like you said, you got to have a clear vision of what you want and what it is you're trying to accomplish when those types of opportunities come arise, because you have to be able to know, like, hey, is this going to be good for us? Like, am I going to get my ROI or at least break even? I mean, I'm sure the goal is always at least break even. But sometimes like you said, like, hey, I gotta do this now because it might not be 6, 7, 8 months before I can run another show. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So, but I learned a long time ago to always trust a woman's intuition. because when they tell you they got a feeling and they don't think you should do this for whatever reason, and you go, nah, I know, I got this. It doesn't work out.
Oh, I'm still eating that. She be like, I told you. I'm like,
Yeah, she'll hold on to that one. What's the relationship with Compton? I know you're very big in the community, but other local businesses and promoters, I'm sure you're more than willing to co-promote or work together within your confines of what you're trying to do in your area, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm willing to work with damn near anybody. Like, I mean, it's feasible too. Like, if you work with another promotion, okay, well, shoot, let's split. Maybe I ain't got to go in all blood. You know what I mean? You got some
Yeah.
blood too. If we
Yeah.
put our blood together, we might be able to afford it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
a lot of times
economical.
like that, iron sharpens iron,
Mhm.
so, and then it might be a little bit less stress off you sometimes where you're like, hey, like, I don't have to go all out for all this because somebody else has kind of helped pulling the weight a little bit. So it might be a little bit off your back sometimes.
Yeah.
But how do you encourage like fan participation and involvement within your promotion? I know you said earlier, you want to get to a point where like they can start like picking or having some say so and who comes in to the shows, or maybe even choose like who's actually going to be going against each other in some of these matches. Do you, I guess that's always encouraged, right? Fan participation, fan involvement, and getting them to be involved with spreading the word of ComptonMania, right?
Absolutely. The best way is to join our members only tonight. So listen, with our members only, you able to watch all our content, the content that's dropping from, and it be late, guys. We a new situation. It takes time for my editors to edit the situation. It's basically you putting in and believe in a brand, basically, right? You get to see all the stuff that we did from the backyard, from going to Don Quixote's, from the Vegas thing should be out soon. We still got the Turkey Tussle we got to put out. We still got to put out the Gym Work Fest from last year, but also joining our members only. That's how we doing. I got 4 members right now. I need to grow it. I need 10.
How
You
can
know
they
what I mean?
access? How can the audience access your members only? Where can they go? Where can they find it?
Go to YouTube, go to ComptonMania YouTube and just join the members only, and you can watch all our content. That's a great way how you could really help us too, by just being, and it's $3.99 a month, or you can
Okay.
do the big dog pack, which is $9.99 a month. And those are the people that I'm like, yo, y'all got blood in the game. Who you want to see? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I know for a fact, if I'm able to really monetize YouTube, that makes it easier for me to run too. So it's just like, okay, boom. So I know I got this for this. We about to get this person because this is who y'all want to see. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like total fan interaction, because here's the thing, I'm a Rams guy, right? I love going to, matter of fact, next week they have I think it's gonna be at the YouTube theater. I think I gotta look at the ticket, but basically you get to meet McVay and a couple of the players. Like that's the type of stuff Compton Mania trying to be on. Like before a big show, like yo, come over here to this convention. We got some food. Come take some pictures with the wrestlers. Come chop it up with us. What's up? Like what you need backpacks? They giving away backpacks over there. They got some stuff over there you can go get. My man be giving away free fruits and vegetables. Go get your free fruits and vegetables. Like I'm trying to create a marketplace. Like like that's it. I don't want nothing from nobody like that, bro. Like I just want to be able to create a community where, because
From
when you do
grassroots.
that, it leaves less room for somebody to act crazy because the community is feeding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
When you're able to build that type of environment and it's self-sustainable, like you said, because there's no one that's gonna want to get over or want to do something shisty or whatever, because it's all about you're right here. We're all together, in this. So,
yeah.
and we're all benefiting from it. So it's an exchange. So yeah, I think that's amazing that the amount of charity work and community aspects that comes into Compton Mania, because I'm someone who's been around the business my entire life. My dad was a professional wrestler, so I've
Nice.
seen not every, but I've seen it all as far as like indie promotions, and
Yeah.
a lot of times it's like either a guy who couldn't cut it and he starts his own promotion and he just wants to put himself over, and, you know, or you have the guys that just want something to do or whatever it is. But like, I think you're a really unique promotion, a unique situation, because of your reason why. The story that we talked about in the beginning with your uncle, taking you back to that joy in those moments, like that's something that, like, I'm be honest, pardon my French, you can't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you are on a certain path and you know what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And it's organic. So when it's organic and it's natural and people are seeing it happen in real time, you can't fuck with that. So I applaud you, DeShawn, for what you're doing and what you're doing out here on the West Coast. Again, I'm all the way over here on the East Coast, but we're making connections. So that's what I'm about, man, networking and making connections. So let the people know, again, where they can find you. Subscribe to the YouTube, the members only. Like you said, it's only $3.99 a month, $9.99 a month for the big dog pack. But this is your handle down here, ComptonMania. Also, Sho Tyme 2203. That's your personal page. But yeah, anything else that you want to plug or out there that you want the audience to find?
Yeah, just follow us on all social media. ComptonMania everywhere. On what X is ComptonMania LLC.
Okay.
TikTok, our Twitch is, we ain't doing no numbers on Twitch, but yeah,
I don't even
say
get
what's
on.
up to us on Twitch, you know?
Yeah.
We on Rumble too, but I haven't posted on there forever because I got like one follower. But man, yeah, just check out our members only. Yeah, we gotta rebuild the website. Just rock with us. Come say what's up with us. See if you like what we talking about. See if you like wrestling according to ComptonMania. Interact, vibe with us. I'm gonna go live more. I had to shut it down because it's been like back to back. But I'm trying to put it all together, man. I just want to let everybody know I appreciate you. I understand. Even people, guys, when you're doing your thing, you're not always gonna have your people is not always gonna be there at the shows because they ain't your audience. They just your people. They just your family. They not your audience. That shit could get you really. It'll play a lot of tricks on your mind.
Mess you up a little bit.
Yeah, but just remember, like, I know I just jumped the gun or whatever, but be gentle to yourselves. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have fun, go after what you're gonna go after. There ain't always the answer you looking for. Just try to enjoy it and try to do it with people you love, man. That's it. That's it. That's all you could do. Hey, trouble is always coming, believe you me. It's right around the corner waiting.
I don't think I could have said it any better myself. I mean, you know, those are very inspirational ways to close out the bingo hall today. Again, like I said to Sean, I appreciate you for stopping by. Shout out to ComptonMania. Shout out to everybody involved out there. I'm looking forward to the growth and watching you guys do your thing. Yeah, you guys stay tuned. You don't know what's going to happen next on the bingo hall. See ya.
Bingo hall. We'll see.
See ya.